So we're really excited about YouTube. YouTube has gone from a place where kittens ruled, and trust me, kittens don't rule anymore. I tried an experiment about 2 years ago where I filmed my kitten, and no one viewed it. My mom viewed it, my kids viewed it, whipped a twang. It's really become a place where people want to consume a vast amount of content that's relevant to them. And that's what's driving us in Africa is how do we deliver or provide a platform where people can watch the content that's relevant to them, whether it's learning, whether it's advancing your knowledge, whether it's entertaining. And the great thing is we've been able to scale this. So we've gone from closed ecosystems where TV channels determine what content you get to watch to now the content that's out there is what the user gets to choose what they want to watch. And it's a platform where you can watch on any device. So whether it's your mobile device, whether it's your TV, whether it's your laptop, whether it's your tablet. And that's great for Africa because Africa is going to be mobile internet connected. We have some challenges in that we need to localize our technology. We need to put hardware down on the ground to make it fast and make it work so you don't buffer, and we've got access issues in Africa. But the long-term vision is that anyone can create any content, and it can be premium content, and it can be ad-funded content, and it can be available on any device. So we're at a phase now where we're also developing the ecosystem. So how do we get more money into the market? And we're launching, now we've got 6 regions where you can advertise on Google in Africa. We've got 6 regions where we can support the local content provider with programs, with technical support, with know-how. And we're going to continue to grow that. We want to ramp that up and do another 6 countries in the next quarter, and then double it up again and double it up again as much as we can.
So how many people are actually watching YouTube in Africa?
We have about 1 billion people worldwide, and I can't actually share the figures.
Give us an order of magnitude.
It is not 100 million, but it's tens and tens of millions of users every month.
And what sort of growth levels?
The growth levels are sitting, if we look at South Africa, we sit at about 85% year-on-year growth. And that's probably our biggest market, and we're the third largest site in the country. And in Africa, we're also between second and third largest sites.
And what are the 2 countries after South Africa, just to give people some sense?
Nigeria is a very close second, followed by Kenya. Then, interesting enough, you've got countries like Mauritius.
Okay.
We have a very high internet penetration and very high usage, although their audience is fairly small. They've got great internet connectivity. We're very much limited to internet connectivity and the price of internet.
That's sort of the break on the development, isn't it? The better it gets, the better the use.
Correct, and the cheaper.
Yes, absolutely. And what kind of African content is there on YouTube, and why is it attracting those kinds of content?
So we really see 3 types of content that's being consumed in Africa. The first, of course, is your locally generated. We do see that local content is what works. That's what people want to see. It's all about relevant content. So guys who are coming in and making low-cost films or low-cost content, they're winning. They're winning. The next winners are the guys who are looking at the diaspora market. Because there isn't enough monetization within region, how do you capitalize on the advertisers that are across Europe and across the US and Asia Pac, which are far more developed? So a lot of guys are thinking about what kind of content do I need to create to get the attention of those audiences and monetize that way.
So that's the kind of Iroko type
The Iroko type.
Yeah.
In fact, each region has a very different content genre. So if I look at Kenya, it's all about music. Ghana, it's about music. Nigeria, it's about Nollywood. South Africa, it's about wildlife, believe it or not. Some of the biggest channels on the planet are coming out of South African wildlife.
Like Wild Earth.
Wild Earth, for example, yes.
Give me 2 or 3 examples, one in South Africa and one outside maybe, of very successful YouTube content, which is, commanding a high level of eyeballs.
So let's start in South Africa and I'll move to Nigeria. South Africa, does anyone know a guy called Casper Lee by any chance? Yeah. Old Casper Lee. So our attention was drawn to him about a year ago where He had about 50,000 subscribers. Now, YouTube is not about views. And I think we all get obsessed about views. But if you really understand YouTube, you're obsessed about your subscribers, because you're not only a content producer, but you're a media owner. And media owners are obsessed about their viewers, just as a YouTuber should be obsessed about their subscribers. He is so obsessed, he's grown his subscriber base to 1.5 million people. And to give you an indication on how large that is, BBC Worldwide on YouTube sits with about 900,000 subscribers.
And he's a boy in a bedroom, isn't he?
He's a boy in a bedroom,
Yeah.
who started this at the age of 16, had 3 or 4 flops, and has finally figured it out and worked out the community and the networks that he's in, and capitalized on those. It's very much about sharing and community, YouTube.
And so an example outside of South Africa, maybe in Nigeria, okay.
In Nigeria, I mean, so this is slightly away from generating content, but more around the business side of YouTube. And Afrinoli, is Chike here by any chance? I think he's on a couple of later panels. But again, what I like about this is how he's thought about the content that needs to be consumed and looked at it from a business point of view. So he's taken YouTube content and the YouTube platform and created an aggregation app where he has over 3 million downloads on Android across Africa. Now, if you think about it, how many application developers have even 1 million downloads in Africa, or even worldwide? And then what he's done is he's thought about the business model. He said, okay, well, I'm going to make money from YouTube, but I'm also going to make most of my money from the operator by doing a revenue split on the data. So as people are using the data and they pay, say, a couple of US dollars per meg, whatever the rate is, he'll take a percentage of that back from the operator, which is phenomenal because most operators are wanting to do it the other way around. You're an OTT player, therefore you must pay me money. And he's managed to really swing it the other way. So
it's quite unusual too, because it's probably one of the few mobile plays that is genuinely working.
Correct.
Everybody talks mobile but doesn't actually get there.
Correct, yeah. He sees himself more as a mobile application provider. And he also knows to grow the market. I mean, this is a guy who gets out there and does it. So he's created a film awards, Afrinoli Film Awards, to really stimulate and give recognition to the guys who are out there generating localized content in Nigeria. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic.
Let's come to broadcasters, because there will be a lot of people in the room who are from broadcasters. What's the potential there? What kind of broadcast plays have there been on YouTube?
So we've got different, I guess, levels of partnerships on YouTube. So if we look at, YouTube's a great place where you want to reach an audience. And I'd like to look at it from an advertising point of view. So why do advertisers advertise on YouTube? Because they're after an audience that might not necessarily be on the broadcaster, i.e. your light viewer, but heavy YouTube viewer. And that for me is the opportunity for the broadcaster, is you've got a certain channel that you can use, or technology that you can use, free to air or satellite. But here's another channel that's on digital, where there is an audience already. You don't need to necessarily go after and build an audience of your own on digital channels. They're there to consume content. Now, you know, we've got to fix some problems around monetization. And trust me, as much as our content providers, especially in Africa, want to make money, we want them to make money too. We're in the same boat as our content providers, so we're working very hard with that. So right now, as we see it, a lot of the broadcasters are using it as a purpose to get the additional reach, to get an audience that might not be using your broadcast or watching you on TV. And it's an audience that wants content on demand. So it's all there, it's free. So it's able to extend your reach. The money's going to come. One nice thing about YouTube is that it isn't a set period that your content will be viewed for. So i.e., if it's being broadcasted, you have a fleeting moment where your viewers can watch you, or whether you're running it in a movie house and you have a period of time where your content's there. The audience on YouTube is an audience that can watch your content at any time for however long you want. So when you're producing the content, that's a great space, especially after you've monetized and you've been in a movie house and you've got it onto the broadcasters. Put it out there. You know, you get views, you get people start to learn about what kind of content you're making. They start to build a following, you start to build a subscriber, you start to build your own audiences. Now, in the 6 key regions, which are South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Senegal, Ghana, and Uganda at the moment, we're able to monetize the business. So a lot of money is going to start pumping into those content formats. So guys who are making money or content producers in those spaces, you're going to see an increase in the monetization of those views. I don't necessarily think it's a channel where you're going to make money purely out of local viewers at the moment, because we just don't have enough internet users. So the guys who are really winning, like Iroko, are winning because of the diaspora market. So the diaspora market is really your export business. And it's a great way to get yourself onto the platform and start engaging with these mature audiences that are looking for content that resonates to them. So again, it's a low-cost platform. So you can start testing what content works or what content doesn't work.
But the big challenge is, going back to the cats, is YouTube has millions and millions and millions of videos on it. How on earth do you get to stand out in this kind of crowded supermarket?
Great point. It is an open ecosystem. So the billion users are essentially a billion channels that are out there. So it's exactly like the internet. In fact, the internet, there are 1 trillion websites. So how do you as a website stand out with 1 trillion websites? You've got 1 billion channels there. Okay, in reality, there's maybe 100 million channels that are doing any form of activity. But how do you stand out? YouTube is very much driven around trends. So you'll see there's the most famous kind of YouTube things are like Gangnam Style, or where people use as a platform to be discovered because they're riding off the back of a trend, a video that's suddenly gone viral. And it's, so to figure out how you're going to generate your content.
What happens though if you come down from those big kind of Justin Bieber style trends to the reality of most people in this room who will be at a different level of scale? How do these people negotiate that very crowded space?
Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is what most of the content providers do is they look at our trends dashboard to see what people are consuming. So we have a trends dashboard that literally says, this is the content that's hot at the moment. And this is the content that's hot over the last month that people are looking for. So remember what YouTube is it's a search engine. So content online is about people searching for what they're interested in. It's not about content that's being put in front of them in a structured schedule. So if you understand that the consumer's looking for something, so when you want to be relevant, you've got to understand what they're looking for at this current time.